You have caught me right in the middle of my shift. It is currently 1 p.m. and I've been out here since 9 a.m. and I'm going to work until 9 p.m. So basically we have 12 hours to make as much money as we possibly can. So far we have cleared $90, about to hit 100, and on a busy day we might have had more than that, but the 9 o'clock hour, the 10 o'clock hour wasn't so great, but lunch has been pretty good. We've done quite a few DoorDash and Uber Eats orders. I just finished one for Panda Express and Barrows. It was a stack from DoorDash for $14, and I've had a really good Uber day. We've had two where the customer tipped at least $8, so I'm feeling pretty good. Because it's summer and I might be trying to increase my acceptance rate today, that I may only make like 300 or even less. Hopefully it's at least 300. We're just gonna have to see how much money we can make today. And as far as increasing the acceptance rate, I haven't really done a great job of that. I mean, we did get up to like 9% at one point, but we were as low as like 5%. So yeah, I just don't like accepting bad orders, but of course we might have to if we're going to increase our acceptance rate all the way to 50 or 70% at some time in the future. I was hoping that this next order from GrubHub could get me over $100. I mean, I hardly ever work GrubHub just because there's no really good orders on there, at least not for me, because they give drivers with like 95% acceptance rate the good orders. So I was surprised when I got this $7 order, but there was a problem and apparently somebody had already picked up that customer's order. And so then I contacted GrubHub support and we got that one canceled, and I got $1. $1. That reminds me of why I stopped driving for GrubHub. So then I had to take a DoorDash order that was not going very far, $7.50, and that one put me over $100 for the day. Wow, things are not looking too good at all. I just sat and waited for 15 minutes and I got some orders, but you can see the screenshots they're just not good, especially on DoorDash, and I even have more inclination to accept some of those than like Uber or GrubHub, but it just hasn't happened that way. So I did pick up some Taco Bell while I'm waiting. It is in my hotspot. I'm still waiting for orders. I will leave any second now when I get a good one, but I guess I'm just going to eat this and wait. And I do think that it has something to do with it being summer. A lot of people in my area like to leave because I'm in an area where it gets over 110 degrees like every single day in the summer. So yeah, definitely a lot of people don't want to be here, and so that has something to do with it. Well, good news, I was only able to finish one of my two burritos before I got one for $6.50 for Jersey Mike's, and this one was ready when I walked in, and so it was a perfect delivery, except for it being the third story of an apartment, but it's not a big deal. And then after that one, we got a Jack in the Box order for $5.50, and I figured it's only going 1.5 miles. Sure, I'll take it, even though I don't love the payout. And that one was to a senior living home, and now we're at $117 in like 5 hours. I mean, like, that's okay, but it is a Friday. It's supposed to be the busiest day of the week, and so yeah, we're not getting it hasn't been great, but dinner is supposed to be way better than lunch and the period in between lunch and dinner. So we're gonna have to just like do what we can for the next 2 hours before hopefully we start getting some really nice ones. As it turns out, I didn't need to totally wait until dinner time to get some decent orders. We got one from Uber Eats. That one was just over $10, and the mileage wasn't too bad either. But we did have to drive back to the hotspot where we picked up an almost $10 order again for Uber Eats. The mileage was a lot further this time, but it was all freeway. We had to wait around quite a bit to find our next order, but when we did, it was a pretty decent one, $10.25 for Wendy's, and I'm like, all right, of course I'm gonna take that. Definitely can't decline that DoorDash order because of how long I waited and, you know, the acceptance rate thing. So took that, and it was really, really easy. They didn't even order a lot of food. It was just a really high tip. And then next, we had rejected a Uber order that came in at around like $13, but then it came back at Trip Radar, and that one was $16. So we got a Shop and Pay order done for PetSmart for $16, and it took less than 30 minutes, which was really, really nice. But then of course we had to drive back to the hotspot, which which doesn't have a lot of orders. So we are at like $170 around there, and we have about like 4.5 hours left in this shift. So I still think we can hit 300. After just a couple minutes, we got one for DoorDash for $10.25. All right, this one looked okay. I accepted it, and then I just drove like the 0.2 miles to the restaurant, and I almost walked inside, but then I got an Uber order for over $10, and I'm like, yep, this restaurant's more expensive and the distance is shorter, so yeah, I'm gonna do that one. And we actually, it's been an hour and I found out that I got over $20 for that one, so I think I made the right choice there. But we did take a DoorDash order after that. It was some burros for $11. The payouts are a lot higher now that dinner is starting, and so we took that one, got $11, and on the way to the drop-off, we picked up a shop and pay order from Uber for $15. It estimated it to take 40 minutes, but it did not take that long. I was only shopping for 6 items, so that was very, very quick. And I use self-checkout, so you can do that on Uber and it gets it done faster. Well, I know you can do it with that Safeway. I don't know if you can do it with every store. And then we actually just took one for Uber again, and that was over $10. And so we'll wait to see what kind of tip is on there. Dinner's way, way, way better than like breakfast or lunch has been today. Next up, I tried to accept a $7 order from DoorDash, a 1.1 miles. That seems to be a pretty good order, but I had some like connection issues and I wasn't able to accept it. And so I was like, that's kind of annoying. And then like 2 minutes later, actually like 1 minute later, I got this one for $21, and the mileage was way higher. I mean, it didn't put me in a terrible area. I still had to drive like 4 miles back to the hotspot, but I think I liked it. So we got that one taken care of, and then we were waiting for a little bit, and then we got a catering order. I believe it's the first one of the day for Cheesecake Factory. Sometimes on these catering orders, they can turn out to be more than what you see when you accept it, but I had a feeling this one wasn't going to be more. They just ordered 2 cakes, and somehow that came out to over $100 as the subtotal. And that one was also a really far drive, like 3 miles to the restaurant and like 5 miles to the customer. But again, it didn't take me too far away from the hotspot, so I decided that it was a good idea. After driving back, I picked one up for Rubio's. This one really, really nice from Uber Eats, just about $9.43 here in 2 miles. It's really hard to beat that, especially with the dinner shift kind of winding down at this point. And so I just drove like 0.1 miles, picked up the order, and then I was off to their apartment. As we were getting closer to 9 p.m., I was really hoping we could hit $300. We were getting very, very close, and it was just about like 8 o'clock, so I figured we could do it. The next order was for $12 for a shop and pay from Uber Eats. It was 6 items. I was wondering if this one was actually going to be a good idea, but I was like, yeah, I'm just going to accept it, see what kind of items are there. And I looked at it, and it wasn't too bad, so I wanted to go for it. And then we picked them up. It said it was supposed to be 28 minutes, and we actually got that done in 20. Then the next order came for Panda Express, $12 for 5.5 miles. Sounds good to me. So we went to Panda Express. The order was already sitting there. Perfect. And then we drove the 5 miles to the customer, and we got that one dropped off, and we didn't receive anything more than $12, but that was still plenty. And it turns out that we actually did break $300 for the day. It was $310 on GrubHub. We made $1 on DoorDash. I don't know how much we made, somewhere around like $130, and then Uber was the rest. So Uber was the better app today, and on DoorDash, I'm just kind of trying to increase my acceptance rate. We're still trying to see how that's all going to work out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Yes, it is slower during summer, but we can still make decent money, especially on a Friday. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.